What is the price of a family? It isn't money. It isn't time. The price you pay is a piece of the person you used to be. That is the price George Clooney, the legendary bachelor, paid when he traded the open roads of freedom to find liberation in a baby's cradle. That is the price Victoria Beckham, the pop queen, paid when she willingly silenced the world's applause to hear the whisper of a home. And that is the price Chris Pratt, the guardian of the galaxy, paid when he realized the greatest adventure wasn't in a distant universe, but on a quiet farm with his family. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we don't talk about what they achieved. We talk about what they bravely gave up. Welcome to the story of the sweet sacrifices of our biggest stars. Our first story is about the man every woman desired, and every man admired for his freedom. Story 1, George Clooney. Trading freedom for a family. George Clooney. For decades, he was the embodiment of charismatic bachelorhood. Just imagine, golden sunsets over the idyllic Lake Como, the roar of a motorcycle echoing on European roads, a life of no-strings-attached parties. His hobby was freedom. His passion was a life without commitment. He once famously insisted he was not the marrying kind, and the world believed him. Until one day, a brilliant human rights attorney named Amal Alamuddin walked into his life, bringing with her an aura of intelligence and grace. Love was a powerful wind that swept away the very prejudices he had built around himself. The man who once saw freedom as everything suddenly realized how empty that freedom felt without someone to share it with. And so at the age of 53, the Golden Bachelor got down on one knee. A new chapter opened and the sweetest sacrifices began. His Lake Como villa, once a sanctuary for bachelors, is now carefully fenced, with a slide for the children. Spontaneous road trips have been replaced by meticulously planned family vacations. Instead of reading scripts, he learned to change diapers to tell bedtime stories in the silliest voices. He once joked that his biggest worry upon waking up was no longer whether a script was good or bad, but have the kids pooped? That isn't giving something up. That is making a choice. He traded his personal freedom for the greatest role of his life, the role of a husband and a father. A role no Oscar could ever compare to. If George Clooney's sacrifice was an internal transformation, a sweet settling down, then our next story is about a strategic sacrifice made to build an entire family empire. Story 2, Victoria Beckham. Setting aside the spotlight to keep the home fires burning. Surely we all remember the chic, fashionable, posh Spice from the legendary Spice Girls. Victoria's life then was the stage, endless world tours, the adoration of millions. Her passions were the lights, the music, the proud ego of a superstar. But her love for David Beckham opened up a different path. And to walk that path, Victoria accepted a quiet sacrifice. Her greatest sacrifice was putting her music career, then at its peak, on hold. She realized that the life of a pop star was incompatible with being the wife of a globe-trotting football player and the mother of children who needed stability. She bravely chose family. As David's career took them across the world, from Manchester to Madrid, then to Los Angeles, who was the one behind the scenes? It was Victoria. She was the one finding schools for the children, decorating their houses, creating a true home wherever they went. Parties, her own social circles, everything took a backseat to her husband's game schedule and her children's school schedule. She sacrificed the spotlight of an entertainer to become the chief architect, the steady foundation for her entire family. That sacrifice has created a legacy more enduring than any hit song. From a powerful woman who set aside her career, we now turn to a fun-loving man who chose to sacrifice the noise of fame for the peace of his family. Story 3, Chris Pratt. Trading Hollywood for serenity. Chris Pratt, the hilarious guardian of the galaxy, the lovable, chubby Andy Dwyer. Whatever the role, he radiated an energy of freedom, spontaneity, and a bit of a man-child spirit. His life was about jokes, hunting trips, the endless parties of Hollywood. But then, building a new family with Katherine Schwarzenegger completely reshaped him. Chris realized that to build a solid foundation, he needed to grow up. Chris Pratt's sacrifice was a quieting of his life. He actively traded the sleepless nights in the bustling movie capital for the fresh mornings on his farm. His hobbies are no longer parties, but tending to his flock of sheep, mending fences, and spending quality time with his wife and kids. He accepted sacrificing a part of his funny guy image to build a new one, more stable and reliable, a family man. For him, the greatest adventure isn't flying through the cosmos. The greatest adventure is the journey of cultivating a family tree, a tree that needs to be nurtured with these very quiet sacrifices. Clooney, Beckham, Pratt. Do these stories sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Perhaps not as glamorous as Hollywood, but it is the story of our parents, and perhaps our own. Because the journey of parenthood is always a journey of trade-offs. The sleepless nights, the personal hobbies set aside, the career opportunities passed over, all for the sake of family. That isn't a loss. It is a choice made from love. It is the sweetest sacrifice of all. Today, let's take a moment to remember those trade-offs. Remember the father who gave up gatherings with his friends to come home for dinner with his kids. Remember the mother who put her own dreams on hold to care for her family. And so I invite you, please share in the comments a sacrifice your parents made for you, or a sweet trade-off you yourself have made on the journey of building your own family. Every story is a testament to the fact that love is always worth the sacrifice. Thank you, and let us cherish the quiet sacrifices that have made each and every one of us.